Hi, are you ready to check out? This is your first time at this library? Oh, love that. Have you been to any other libraries like in this branch, or are you new to checking out library books in general? This is your first time at a public library. Well, I love that. It's always good to support your local library and small bookstores. Are you new to reading in general, or are we receiving a Barnes & Noble patron? You would get your books through Amazon and occasionally Barnes & Noble? Okay. Well, I'm just happy that people are reading regardless, but it is really good to support your local library and locally small business bookstores. So I'm happy to have you. Do you have all your books ready? Perfect. I'll just take these from you. We have a good stack here. Perfect. I love all these. Let's see. Let me just go ahead and scan these. Perfect. So our library is kind of old school. Now that I've scanned them, I do have to type them in onto your account. But first things first, let me go ahead and get an account set up for you. So you said, let's see. Okay, perfect. So do you by chance have your ID with you? It could be like a school ID, state ID, driver's license, passport, anything that shows that you live in this county and that has your name on it. Perfect. If you could just show me that really quick. First name, age. And this is your school ID? Perfect. Oh, you went to... I went to that high school too. Perfect. Love that. Okay, so your first name, if I remember it correctly. And then your last name. Can you remind me how to spell that really quick? And then can you give me your mailing address? And then was there an apartment number or no apartment number? Apartment. Perfect. City, state, and zip code. And then your email address. The email address is just to like send you notifications about like readings and like when authors come to visit. We have like workshops and events, that sort of thing. It will also send you an email to remind you when your books are approaching their due date. And then there's also this really cool feature where you can auto renew them and renew them online. I use that feature a lot because when I get really busy with things, I can take up to like a month with one book. I do consider myself to be a fast reader, but sometimes like I get busy with like school and work and things like that where I don't have a lot of time to read. But I do like that this feature is available now. Okay, so the last thing I'm gonna need is your phone number and birthday. Let's start with the phone number. And then your date of birth. Perfect. And then how did you hear about the public library? This one. You've just driven by and always seen it? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, perfect. So I've gone ahead and made you an account. So we don't print out the library cards here, but it will be mailed to you. You'll receive it in like 3 to 9 business days. Okay. Now that you have an account, I'm gonna go ahead and add these to your account. The scanning just checks it out of our system, but the system is too old school. I need to add these to your account by hand. It usually is a lot faster than this, and we do have the self-checkout option, but because it's your first time, it's gonna be a bit of a process. Okay. The Song of Achilles. I love this book so much. I'm so sad that with TikTok being down, we lost a book talk, because this book is the best thing that book talk has given society. Amazing. And it looks like the person that read this did leave a lot of annotations. You can go ahead and just pull those out. Let me add this. Perfect. The Stranger by Albert Camus. And yeah, I have read this too. Looks like we have a Murakami postcard in here. If you want to keep it, that's totally fine. I would keep it too. You can use it as a bookmark. Schoolgirl by Osamu Dazai. I read this too. I think we have a lot of the same taste in books. That's so funny. And that, you know, it's funny that we check these out right next to each other, because I do believe both of these books do align with absurdism, you know, in their own ways. So you're gonna have a lot of fun reading both of these. Dazai is great. Another Dazai book. I'd have to say this might be one of my favorite books of all time. I would say a lot of Dazai's written prose is heartbreakingly relatable. Hopefully you don't resonate with anything, but if you do, you're not alone. Yukio Mishima, Life for Sale. You're gonna have fun with this one. Mishima is such like an interesting author. If you know anything about his own personal life, or like his political life, or even the way he died, that in itself is a story on its own. He's very interesting. I think you'll like this a lot. It's a good storytelling too. It's really entertaining. Okay. Next we have 24 Hours in the Life of a Woman. And I don't know how to pronounce his name. I think it's Stefan Zweig. I don't know. But believe it or not, this is one of the first books I read when I got into reading as a 20-year-old, 19-year-old. But it's so short, it's so easily digestible, you can finish it within a day, and it's just so interesting. This is a book that will really jumpstart you into reading. Since you did say yourself that you're a new reader, I couldn't recommend this more. And then Zweig as an author, I think his other book, if you're interested, what is it, Post Office Woman, I'm just gonna, just so I can give you an accurate name. The Post Office Girl. And I was watching, are you familiar with Wes Anderson, the movie director? Yeah, you are. Yeah, I mean, he's one of my favorites. But I think The Post Office Girl by this author, Anderson referenced as one of his inspirations for his movies. I don't remember which, I think it was Budapest Hotel. Don't quote me on that. Okay. 24 hours. Perfect. Next, we have Someone Who Will Love You in All Your Damaged Glory. You know, you're jumping into reading in the most perfect way possible. You have your philosophy, your novels, you have a collection of short stories. Perfect. I love this one so much. I definitely cherish this book. The short stories are satirical, but they also reveal a lot of truth, and I just love short stories that are humorous and capture like the essence of like the human condition and human relationships. You will really like this one. Perfect. Okay, we're almost done here. My Year of Rest and Relaxation. I see the last two books you picked out are Otessa Moshfegh books. She's definitely in my top 5 favorite authors. And it's funny you picked out these two of all her books. I would say these two are probably her books that contrast the most. Not contrast each other, but they're so different. If you didn't show me the cover or the author of these books, I would never assume that these are written by the same author. I would maybe not even assume that they're written in the same time period. They're so different. And you know, a lot of people don't like this one, but I think this just proves the range that Moshfegh has. She's amazing. She's, like I said, she's definitely one of my top 5 favorite authors. I would start with this one. This one is really easily digestible. It's really good. It's about this, it's basically about like a trust fund girl who is going through a hard time, and she gets this crazy idea to abuse like sleeping pills and all kinds of like pills. I think she uses like pills for depression, like Zoloft or something. But anyway, she's taking all of these kinds of pills, and they're knocking her out. And she wakes up, she goes to the bathroom, she eats, she goes back to sleep with the pills. She is sleeping 24/7 for an entire year. And in her reasoning behind this is so she can kind of like start over a year from when she started and be like a brand new person, like a snake shedding its skin per se. Really good, really good. I like this one a lot. Okay, and then after you read that one, you have to read this one. It's so good. I honestly cannot believe that people don't like this. As someone that has studied English literature in school, like I could easily picture this being one of the texts that we study and dissect years from now. It's so good. There's a lot of things that are like off-putting. I'm not gonna spoil it. Just know there are some things that are off-putting and weird and a little like some may find it shocking, but I don't think Moshfegh does it for shock value. I think everything she writes is very intentional, and I think there's a lot of great symbolism and motifs in this story that we can apply to today. Okay, these are all logged in the system. Let me go ahead. Are you gonna want a receipt for these books today? Yeah? Okay. Sounds good. Let me get you a receipt, and then you'll get email notifications when it's almost time for these to be due. Everything, you'll get an email. You should probably already be in your email of your account creation. You'll get an email of an email receipt, and then you have your physical receipt, and then you'll get another email in 2 weeks or so reminding you that these books are due. You will probably need to auto-renew them at home because you've got quite some work to do, but welcome to reading. I hope you stick around, and I hope to see you in the future. You brought your own tote bag? Perfect. Alright, I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much.